Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Akila binti Yusof.
My name is Shazani binti Sophie.
My name is Adla Zafirah binti Jasni.
Nama saya Aziz Fikri bin Muhammad Kamal.
My name is Anis Fitria binti Muhammad Hafiz.
Hi, my name is Nurul Natasha binti Muhammad Fitri.
My name is Siti Aisyah binti Roslani.
Assalamualaikum, nama saya Ahmad Pratma bin Muhammad Kamal.
And now we would like to present to all of you about the Japan's culture.
The Japanese islands have been inhabited by humans since Paleolithic times. Archaeologists have discovered some of the oldest pottery known to exist. Migration has not been a significant feature of Japanese history. The Japanese are a combination of people from Northeast Asia, the Chinese coast, Southeast Asia, and Polynesia. By the Heian period, the dominant Japanese population extended control over the northern region of the island of Honshu, displacing the indigenous Ainu people. In the 19th century, the Ainu were displaced from the island of Hokkaido when the majority Japanese settled there. Following World War I, Japan experienced an economic downturn. Tokyo and Yokohama were devastated by an earthquake in 1923. During World War II, Japan attacked the United States and Great Britain in 1941. Japan's defeat in World War II resulted in the loss of its overseas empire as well as its military. Its economy and most of its major cities were destroyed. Atomic bombs obliterated Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Allied armed troops, mainly American, invaded Japan and enforced broad democratic changes. Japan rebuilt its country after the occupation. Beginning in the 1960s, Japan expanded significantly as an economic force and has maintained a high level of life ever since. The Prime Minister is chosen by the majority party in the lower chamber, the House of Representatives, who appoints a government. The Conservative Liberal Democratic Party is the largest, but it lost power of the lower house in the 1993. Parties are currently in a moment of retention. The Japanese language is essentially spoken only in Japan. It is an altered language and its nearest relative is Korean. It is not related to Chinese, but writing was learned from China. Chinese characters, which is kanji, each with a meaning and multiple pronunciations, are part of the writing systems. The Japanese yen is the official currency of Japan. Traditional Japanese religion includes Shinto, Buddhism, and Confucianism.
Japan is a chain of approximately 3,000 islands off the eastern coast of Asia. Throughout history, the main islands of Honshu, Kyushu, and Shikoku have been homeland of the Japanese. During the 17th century, political influence have been extended southward over the Ryukyu Islands, including Okinawa. These are occupied by closely related populations that speak the variant of Japanese. The Ryukyus become part of Japan in the 19th century. Approximately 2/3 of the land area is too mountainous for development. This compresses the population into the few large plains, the Kanto around Tokyo, the Kansai around Osaka, and the Nobi around Nagoya, mountain basin, and coastal strips. Japan also endures seasonal typhoons. While often destructive, these storms cause little loss of life.
Festival in Japan. Yuki Masuri, January to February. Known as the Sakura Snow Festival, held in Hokkaido for about 2 weeks. Besides cultural event festival, snow and ice scope. Omizutori, bulan March. Known as the Scatter Water Drawing Festival that held in Nara. Ceremony to cleanse people of the sin and usually in the spring season. During the autumn solstice, giant fast reaches up to 8 meters long. Giant Masuri, July. We celebrate began as a purifying ritual to sanctify the god. It is less cultural even in Kyoto. The Yama festival at the most entertaining portion of the festival for visitors. Next, Omori Nabuta Masuri. 2 August, Japan most colorful celebrate with spectacular float with like my canonical character and will knock Japan character. The event develops the character inspired from the resemble army from the 800 Kiwiwada Dajiri Masuri to September. A harvest celebration in which people pray for a beautiful autumn. The festival that held in September is regular Osaka, Sweden celebrate most of the float over 3,000 kilogram in weight, pulled by a team of up to 1,000%.
So now I'm gonna present to all of you about the famous art in Japan. The first one is The Great Wave of Kanagawa by Katsushika Hokusai. This painting is the most famous Japanese painting of all the time. It is in fact the most well-known made in Japan work of art. It depicts a massive wave threatening vessel off the coast of Kanagawa Prefecture. While the wave is frequently mistaken for a tsunami, it is more likely to be a massive rock wave, as the image title suggests. The painting was created in the ukiyo-e style, and this is the Cypress Tea by Kano Etiko. It's a 4D screen attribute to the Japanese painter Kano Etiko, one of the Kano school's most prominent patriarchs. The painting was created during the Azuchi Momoyama period, within 1573 until 1615. It has been designed a national treasure and is now housed in the Tokyo National Museum. Next is Sunrise Over the Eastern Sea by Fukushima Takeji. This painting was influenced by the French movement, and this is his 1932 art. As we know, Fukushima Takeji was a Japanese painter who known for his contribution to the development of Romanticism and Impressionism art within the yoga, which is Western style, movement in the late 19th to the early 20th century. Three Beauties of the Present Day by Kitagawa Utamaro is the third famous art in Japan. Kitagawa Utamaro created this wood block print that refer to the three celebrities beauties of the time. They are Geisha Tomimoto Toyohina, the tea waitress Nani Nakita, and also Takashima Hisa. The fifth is Sudden Shower over Shin Ohashi Bridge and Atake by Ando Hiroshige. This painting is a ukiyo-e wood block print by Hiroshige. It was published in 1857 as part of the series of 100 famous views of the Edo, and is one of the Hiroshige most well-known prints. And the last one, Hikone Screen by unknown author ship. So this Hikone Screen is an unknown author Japanese paint Byobu folding screen. The screen is painted on gold leaf paper and folds in 6 parts. It displays a scene with 11 male and female figures having fun, a blind man, and some women play shamisen in front of a 4-panel Byobu screen with a landscape paint on it on the left. A group of men and women play a Sugoroku board game in the right.
Japan is famous for having one of the richest and most fascinating cultures in the world. So, this is the culture and tradition of Japanese society. First, the traditional tea ceremony. Tea ceremony are an important aspect of Japanese culture. This formal yet stylish tradition is taken seriously. Kyoto and Kanazawa are popular locations for tea ceremonies. This ritual is heavily influenced by Buddhist practices, and the event can be compared to a meditative experience. Tea ceremonies in Japan have a deep meaning for the country, and those invited should feel very honored. Second is bowing. Bowing is a common aspect of Japanese culture that you will notice. The Japanese bow to say hello or welcome, goodbye, overcome again, thank you, apologize, grace before a meal, pray at a shrine, and so on. If the greeting takes place on tatami floor, people get on their knees to bow. Third, sitting seiza. Seiza is a traditional Japanese way of sitting on tatami floor. It is considered the proper way to sit at formal occasions such as Shinto shrine rituals. The average person finds seiza difficult to hold for an extended period of time. In ancient Japan, people were not allowed to participate in formal gatherings such as tea ceremonies and traditional Japanese performance without practicing seiza. The seiza has come to represent two important values in Japanese culture, such as courtesy and apology. Besides that, one of Japanese oldest sport which is sumo. Sumo is a Japanese style of wrestling and Japan's national sport. It originated in ancient time as a performance to attend the Shinto deities. Many rituals with religious background, such as the symbolic purification of the ring with sword, are still followed today. In line with tradition, only men practice the sport professionally in Japan. Throughout the year, tournaments are held in a variety of locations. It is available in Tokyo at Ryogoku Kokugikan in January, May, and September. Satsubun. Japan has a number of traditional annual events, including the well-known Hinamatsuri in March and one of these traditional Japanese events. They each have their own origins and meaning, and they are celebrated in their own traditional ways throughout the year. Satsubun is a winter festival that involves a lot of bean eating and bean throwing to ward off evil spirits that bring disaster, misfortune, and bad health. In modern days, the most commonly performed Satsubun ritual is the throwing of roasted beans around one's house and at temple and shrine across the country. Another widespread custom in the eating of ehomaki sushi rolls. One is supposed to eat the roll without talking while facing the lucky direction of the year. Thank you.
Popular in Japanese culture. Hands down the most famous and beloved hero in Japanese folklore stories, Momotaro means Peach's eldest son in Japanese and refer to the hero mythical birth from a peach. Say Peach was on an elderly, childless woman while washing close a stream. When her husband split the fruit, a healthy boy jumped out from within. Overjoyed, the couple considered the child a gift from a heaven, named him as Momotaro, and raised him as their own. Next, the sad and strange Japanese fairy tale of Urashima Taro involved a young fisherman who saved a giant turtle from bullying by children. Out of gratitude, the turtle which could speak, fairy Taro, to the mythical underwater dragon place known as a Ryugu. Then the young fisherman was warmly received by Otohime, the beautiful princess of the court. For a short while, the young fisherman also lived in great luxury. After that, the ghastly tale of Okiku and the 10th Blade is one of the most well-known Japanese ghost story. One that is laden with elements of social commentary and karmic retribution too. In the most popular version, a servant girl named Okiku worked for the tyrannical samurai Aoyama Tisan. Frustrated by Okiku's repeated rejection of his sexual advance, Aoyama framed Okiku for the loss of a precious plate, one of a set of 10. In one, Okiku's spirit was appeased by a priest. Next, story about Kintaro's origin. Some say the golden boy was the son of a samurai, raised by his mother in a forest. After she fled there with him to escape family feud. Others claim Kintaro was abandoned in the forest by his mother and subsequently raised by a mountain witch. Kintaro grew up into a healthy and bossy boy, gifted with supernatural strength and the ability to converse with animals.
There are some interesting places in Japan that attraction our attentions. First is meet snow monkey at Arashiyama Monkey Park. A visit to the Arashiyama Monkey Park combines a bridge hike with gorgeous view of the world of Kyoto. A plethora of adorable snow monkeys logging around so close. You can share your park-approved snack with them. Second is discover Osaka's thriving nightlife in Dotonbori. Dotonbori and its brightly lit neon nightlife is Osaka's most famous attraction. While sailing, you can enjoy the beauty of the place at night, and you can head to one of the theaters or comedy clubs to enjoy a show before hitting the town and checking out the district's unique bar scenes. Third is visit Hiroshima's famous Peace Memorial Park. The name Hiroshima has gone down in history as the seat of the world's first atomic bombing. To commemorate that event that changed the city landscape forever, Hiroshima has built a sprawling memorial park where you see the ruins of one the only building miraculously left standing, memories to different groups of those who died. Born out of the devastating event, the Peace Memorial is a declaration of hope for the future.
Activity and things to do in Japan. First is Kumano Kudo Trail. This place is designated as historic pilgrimage site by UNESCO. Then, the Kumano Kudo Trail will take you through beautiful forests and rustic village along the way. We can enjoy a local cuisine at the guest house. The best time to visit is in March to June or September to November. Next place is onsen. Onsen is the place that we can soak in hot spring. The mineral in the water offer varying medicinal properties that make us feel refreshed. There have many sizes of hot spring that we can try. The last interesting activities we can do at Japan is take a cooking class. A cooking class is one of the best activities to enjoy for foodies. We can learn more about food culture in Japan and more recipes. There are a wide variety of cooking class we can learn in Japan, such as sushi, tempura, and udon. Thank you.
In conclusion, Japan's culture is appealing since certain of its customs are highly unique in the world, and culture is an important component in settling a country. Japan's history was not always lovely, but it laid the groundwork for a great country. To summarize, while Japan is one of the world's industrialized countries, it is still evolving at its own pace. Culture and tradition can evolve throughout times. In other words, some new ideas or thoughts will take the place of ancient traditions.